We begin with breaking news. A crash near 10th and South Streets here in Lincoln. LPD telling us a few moments ago that the driver had a medical episode and swerved into an electric pole. Police say the driver was taken to the hospital, but the extent of their injuries is not yet known at this time. Several first responders on the scene to keep an eye on traffic until a pickup could be towed. Also first is midday. President Trump escalating his rhetoric against Iran. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. Iranian state media reports more explosions in a port city off the Strait of Hormuz as it launches another wave of attacks targeting U.S. bases across the region. Now, at least 7 of these explosions happening here. That's a military base hosting U.S. forces in northern Iraq. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest for us from Washington.
Today marks 13 consecutive nights of airstrikes in a war spanning nearly 5 months, with no signs of slowing down. The U.S. and Iran are trading airstrikes across the region, with the U.S. again targeting an Iranian port near the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran launching drones against U.S. assets in Kuwait. President Trump tells Axios he's now considering a, quote, massive attack, bigger than ever before. The IRGC, meanwhile, is issuing a grim warning to civilians in several key U.S. allies, urging anyone stay at least 500 meters away from locations that house American military. 1 week ago, Iranian airstrikes pierced through air defense systems, killing 4 U.S. service members in Jordan and Iraq. The family of one fallen soldier gathered in New York yesterday to mourn the loss of 28-year-old Sergeant Angel Rampersad.
She fought for this country and she died for this country, and I am a mother that is highly proud of her. And I know she was really focused on what she was doing. She loved it.
Near the Strait of Hormuz, at least 6,000 people are believed to be stranded on some 400 vessels waiting to cross, according to the UN's High Commissioner for Human Rights. The commissioner is urging the U.S., Israel, and Iran to help safely evacuate those stuck, as traffic through the strait has essentially stopped. Oil prices are down slightly today, but gas prices are ticking up. According to Gas Buddy, the national average for a gallon of regular is now $4.10. Its analysts expect gas to surge by another 10 to 20 cents in the coming weeks. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, gas prices here at home seeing a spike from the amplified fighting in the Middle East. This video sent into our Now Local News app by citizen journalist Brian. You can see gas priced at nearly $4 a gallon. The U-stop near South and 16th and Old Cheney Road showing $3.99 on Thursday afternoon. You can share with us what you're seeing at the pump today. Just scan the QR code on your screen to download it and then take a video showing gas prices near you and send it to us. You could earn cash reward today. All right, let's talk weather this morning. And Dominic pointed this out to me, but it's cloudy outside today. You can't even see the Capitol, the top of the Capitol building here. Oh my goodness. A very nice 69 degrees though outside. Let's get on over to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro's got a closer look for us in our first forecast. Good morning, Dominic.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. And much like myself here without my morning coffee, a little bit slow out of the gate for those temperatures as the cloud cover has kept things on the cooler side too. Quick look outside here from your Barry Law camera. Similar story, some lower level cloud cover making it hard to see downtown Lincoln on our tower cam. As we mentioned, temperatures here in the upper 60s, dew points there as well, with a wind there out of the east around 5 miles per hour. So lighter winds, higher humidity, and temperatures aren't unbearable just yet. But again, off to kind of a slower start for the eastern 2/3 of the state. As we see your temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, though, that hasn't stopped a few points out there towards the Panhandle, reaching the 80s already. Visibility at the moment much lower than as you head off to our east. Omaha at 3 miles an hour, Nebraska, or excuse me, at 3 miles. Nebraska City there at 2, but kind of then just spotty cloud cover in the lower levels as you go west across the state. Here's a better look at some of that on your visible satellites. You can kind of start to see out towards the west there near North Platte and McCook, some of that lower level cloud cover kind of burning off with that daytime heating. That's likely what's going to happen then here, though. It might be a little while before we start to see that clearing going forward. Temperatures expected to reach the low 80s, though, for your afternoon here under mostly cloudy skies. I think we're just about done, though, with precipitation chances. More details on that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Talk to you then. Thank you very much, Dominic. Breaking now, a teenager pleading guilty to dozens of charges after a deadly school shooting. Those charges including murder for killing 4 people and injuring several others at his Georgia high school. We are still waiting for a judge to sentence Colt Gray. The maximum he could receive is life without parole. Here's Lindsay Tuckman with the details of today's hearing.
16-year-old Colt Gray appearing in a Georgia courtroom today, pleading guilty to all 55 charges for the September 4th, 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School.
Do you agree that there are facts to support each of the charges against you? Yes, Your Honor. Are you pleading guilty to each of the charges that you are in fact guilty? Yes, Your Honor.
11 people were shot when the then 14-year-old Gray opened fire. 4 victims died. Students Mason Shimmerhorn and Christian Angulo, both 14, and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irimi. Shimmerhorn's mother spoke in court today after Gray pleaded guilty.
I can acknowledge that he was failed without excusing what he did. The failures of the adults around him may explain parts of his story, but they do not excuse the decisions that he made. Those decisions were his and his alone, and because of those decisions, my Mace is gone.
Today's plea before the judge means the state and the defense had not reached an agreement on sentencing. This leaves Gray's sentence entirely up to the judge overseeing the case. Gray's father, Colin Gray, was convicted by a jury in March on charges that included second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter after prosecutors said he gave his teenage son the assault-style rifle he used to open fire at the school. His sentencing is set for next week. Lindsay Tuckman.
Well, new details on a proposed project at St. Mary's Church. The Nebraska Capital Environs Commission holding a public hearing this morning on proposed improvements to the historic church along K Street. It's to beautify the area around the downtown Lincoln Staple. Because the site is within the Capital Environs District, commissioners reviewed the plans to make sure they meet design standards. Heard any public comments and then voted on the proposal. The commission helps oversee development around the state capitol while preserving the area's historic character. The project on St. Mary's includes improvements to the church's entrance and surrounding grounds. New landscaping and updated sidewalks are all proposed accessibility improvements. This is a look at the renderings that were sent to the commission, highlighting those upgrades would fit within the church's historic architecture while preserving the character of the capital area. We'll let you know how the commission voted tonight at 5. Right now, dozens are competing to become Grand Island's next firefighters. The department testing a record number of applicants this week as it looks to fill 8 firefighter positions. The department received 71 applications. It's the largest applicant pool in more than a decade. Candidates are taking a written exam followed by a physical test designed to simulate the demands of the job. Those who advance will move on to the interviewing process.
There's a lot of people out there that do want to serve the community. The city has great benefits. It's a great job. The work of a firefighter is something special, and there's a large group that want to take part in being a firefighter and hopefully joining our team.
Chief Schmidt adds this year's record applicant pool gives the department a better chance to fill all its expected vacancies with top quality recruits. A college class is helping revitalize a rural Nebraska community. A partnership between UNL and David City is now earning statewide recognition. Several of the students' recommendations included a new city park, improving the local museum, and plans for a veterans memorial. Now those improvements are becoming reality.
The students' plan was used to help prepare and apply for a community development block grant. That CDBG program ultimately ended up getting the community $400,000 of assistance for their small businesses.
UNL is proud of what this group of students is able to achieve, also saying the project shows how classroom learning can help strengthen communities across rural Nebraska. New developments, free and reduced price school meal guidelines are now available. The Nebraska Department of Education releasing the new income guidelines. Families can apply through their child's school or child care program. The new guidelines cover breakfast, lunch, and other nutritional programs for the upcoming school year. Families who meet the income requirements can apply at any time. The children whose households receive benefits like SNAP or TANF may also qualify automatically. And don't forget, this Thursday we're hosting our 3rd annual school supply drive with the Lincoln Public School District. That's now less than a week away, folks. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can find a list of the items that are needed the most, but any school supply drive or donation is appreciated. It'll be right here next Thursday again, July 30th from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. Stay with us, including a Garden of Hope, a new space in Beatrice honoring those impacted by cancer, how the community came together to create this place of peace and reflection.
Next, ET, we're coast to coast from San Diego's Comic-Con to the Palm Beaches with this talk show titan.
Hi, I'm Otto Williams, and this is my ET Then and Now.
Next, ET.
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
The Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, or OLLI, is for adults over 50 who love learning. Come to the OLLI Open House on August 7th at the UNL East Campus Union from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. to learn more. Sign up now at olli.unl.edu.
It's a big deal. 50 years means 50% off in the furniture showroom. Shop now for the best selection. Mattresses starting at $199. Recliners at $499. Join us to celebrate 50 years and save 50% now at Lincoln Mattress and Furniture.
I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message. Dan Osborne says he's one of us, but his campaign is about enriching himself.
Osborne and his wife funneled campaign money into shady companies they control.
Nearly $500,000 right into Osborne's pockets. Some of that money was raised with Dana Chasen,
a man accused of trafficking girls for Jeffrey Epstein.
Dan Osborne is gonna change Washington? Give me a break. Dan Osborne's just in it for himself.
For himself.
Osborne's just in it for himself.
Looking to upgrade your home's electrical system? Wolf Electric is here to help. From panel diagnostics to custom installs, our licensed experts handle it all. Whether it's an outdoor outlet or a ceiling fan, we bring safe, code-compliant solutions to every job. Backed by a 1-year warranty. Schedule your free quote today.
Our American warriors are tough, determined, disciplined. They sacrifice their own well-being to defend our liberties. And they never leave the injured behind.
Good? Yeah, brother.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots. We are a personal injury law firm bringing that warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
New developments, a place of hope opening in Beatrice. Behind me here is what first started off as a concept. Now this 2-year community effort has blossomed into a new cancer garden designed to honor, remember, and heal. The Beatrice Community Hospital Foundation celebrating the grand opening of the Community Cancer Garden of Life and Legacy. The project has taken a bit of patience, but has come a long way, bringing together community leaders, volunteers, SEC, and the city of Beatrice to create a peaceful place for families touched by cancer. Over 1/5 of Americans have broken up with a partner due to their annoying sleep habits, and Health and ChatGPT is launching to U.S. users. Jane Kane explains in today's Wellness Report.
ChatGPT has a new health feature. You can choose to be securely connected to Apple Health and supported medical records, so ChatGPT can help you understand the information in context, keep track of anything that's changed, and have more informed, personalized conversations. Now, with users' permission, ChatGPT can now draw on the relevant information you've connected in health to help you compare a new test result with prior results, summarize changes since your last appointment, or explore how sleep, activity, and workouts relate to your routine. And more health tech, Garmin has introduced a $200 screenless fitness tracker called the Circa Smart Band. The band monitors sleep, stress, and vitals such as heart rate variability and skin temperature, and offers a body battery score. The device does not require a subscription, unlike some others, so it makes money from the hardware itself. And a survey of 2,000 general population Americans revealed 17% have ended a relationship solely due to their ex-partner's disruptive nighttime habits, while 6% said it's part of why the relationship failed. This was commissioned by Avocado Green Mattress and conducted by Talker Research, and respondents were asked to share what specifically led to the end of the relationship. And snoring was a common theme. After snoring, respondents said excessive tossing and turning and stealing the covers were the most annoying sleep habits a partner can have. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Well, it's been a cool and cloudy start to the day so far. We are still expecting high temperatures then to heat up for the weekend ahead. We'll have more details on what that looks like in your full forecast coming up after the break.
Bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
La Paz Mexican in Lincoln is serving up something new. Our Lunch Express menu, crafted for flavor and speed. From 11 to 2, enjoy fresh-made favorites, fast enough for any lunch break. Or come enjoy happy hour from 2:30 to 6 with $2 off margaritas and $3 tacos. And when dinner rolls in, we're showcasing the dishes you love. Sizzling fajitas, cream cheese enchiladas, and all the classics. La Paz Mexican. Your day, your way.
ABC's seamless steel gutters are larger and stronger than traditional gutters, carrying away 33% more water from your home and handling even the heaviest rains. Stay dry, look great with ABC seamless gutters. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
At Neiman & Sons, we don't just offer the best residential and commercial roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. We also support our community. Since 2015, Neiman & Sons has been a sponsor of Lincoln Youth Football. Our owners, contractors, and office workers all give back by coaching and cheering on our youth. We take pride in Lincoln and in the next generation. At Neiman & Sons, we work hard to be a roofing company focused on building a stronger, better community. For more information on our services or Lincoln Youth Football, visit NeimanandSons.com.
Greatness doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of endless drive. The will to push beyond all limits. And then push beyond yourself. Find your drive at the BMW Ultimate Sales Event on now.
Shop online at bmwoflincoln.com.
Developing now, the weather and rains soaking parts of the southeast. Cleanup crews seen here clearing fallen trees and roads across central North Carolina after severe weather. Raleigh-Durham International Airport saw a record rainfall yesterday with more than 2 inches. That was mild compared to how much fell in other parts of the Carolinas. Here's ABC's Hannah Batah.
This morning, the same storm system that brought powerful tornadoes from Kentucky to New York is now dumping torrential rain across the Carolinas. Parts of North Carolina getting more than half a foot, saturating the soil and toppling massive trees onto roads. Outside Charlotte, Trevor Tompkins pulled a man and his child from this crushed car.
I had to fight through the trees. I was standing on top of that branch that was behind the car. We pulled him out.
Crews in Raleigh clearing numerous fallen trees and power lines littering the streets. Earlier this week, that same storm front triggered deadly flooding in West Virginia. Authorities confirming 2 people were found dead as new images of the devastation emerge.
Oh my God!
This car in Buckhannon sucked underneath a bridge by raging floodwaters. Meanwhile, overnight, Tropical Storm Bertha weakened to a tropical depression after making a second landfall near the Texas-Louisiana border. Bertha's remnants could still bring heavy rain and gusty winds to parts of South Texas before dissipating tonight. Hannah Batah, ABC News, New York.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Well, we are looking then at some colder temperatures here for the rest of your afternoon. I know, sorry for anyone who's expecting Houston to be here, but anyway, he's enjoying a day off here. Going forward for that forecast, though, on the cooler side with mostly cloudy skies the rest of the day today. I know temperatures have kind of gotten off to a slow start here as we are only sitting in the upper 60s to low 70s here in southeast Nebraska. Though, don't worry, it's going to warm up as we head into this weekend. If you missed those summertime temperatures, we're right back to it then tomorrow and really through the majority of the weekend with some of our warmest temperatures then coming on Sunday there and into Monday, and several heat alerts in place across the state as well. In fact, we'll go ahead and take a look at those here. First, the heat advisory in place for really the majority of the state. All of these orange counties here, I'm not really sure why only 2 counties there are missing from northeast Nebraska, but such is the way the National Weather Service decided to issue this. Mainly, though, looking at heat indices anywhere between 100 degrees out towards the west and then a little closer to that 105, 110 mark as you get into eastern Nebraska. And as you notice behind me here, there is also a couple darker colored counties. That's your extreme heat watch in places here. For just a couple counties in Nebraska, though, portions of western Iowa may see heat indices up to 115 degrees, and that's why we have that watch in place there. So plenty of hot and humid conditions on the way away then for this weekend. But as we take a look outside right now, Beatrice, your Shones roofing camera at South 6 and Perkins Street. It's kind of cloudy. It looks like it should be chilly out there. And we were talking in our meeting this morning. One of our producers was like, it looks like it should be 50 degrees outside this morning. And I agree with that. But here we are sitting in the 70s in eastern Nebraska, upper 60s up towards the northeastern corner of the state. A few spots, though, who haven't been under that cloud cover all morning, already making their way to the 80s as we take a closer look in southeast Nebraska. Up to 70 now in Lincoln, 72 in Beatrice, 67 up in Omaha, the low 70s as well for the Tri-Cities. Winds manageable out of the south and east between 5 to 10 miles per hour. So not going to see a whole lot out of those the rest of the way. And while we have some lower level cloud cover, maybe giving us a little bit of mist, the radar looks fairly clear for the moment. We're just, again, keeping an eye on a fairly expansive area of overcast skies as we get out towards central Nebraska. And we're starting to see some of that burn off, though, as we get closer to the Panhandle. And that will continue to try and work its way here to the east as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. Stormcast does show us at least clear those precipitation chances for your Friday afternoon as well. Slowly eating away then at that cloud cover. We might even see a little bit of clearing tonight, but it's going to be quickly replaced by yet another chance of some patchy areas of fog for the start of your Saturday morning. And we'll have to work to kind of eat those away as we go then through your Saturday afternoon, with partly cloudy skies then to follow as we head into the evening. Northern Nebraska may see a storm chance tomorrow, but I think the majority of us here, especially south of the interstate, will stay dry heading then into your Sunday morning. Temperatures this afternoon will range then from the lower 80s here in eastern Nebraska, where we've kind of seen a cooler start to the day, to the upper 80s to low to mid 90s out towards the west. So they're going to get kind of a jump start then on some of that summertime heat. And as we look at the heat index into this weekend too, get ready for the triple digits to be back. I know we saw a taste of this at the start of this week. We'll be once again looking at a hot start to the work week next week as those warmer heat indices then continue into through the weekend. But as we talked about, plenty of sunshine then for your Sunday and Monday. Got the highs there in the upper 90s for the moment, but we'll see a little bit of a shift in the upper air pattern as we head towards the middle of next week. That will give us periodic chances for showers and thunderstorms. The exact timing of those, not super certain at the moment, but that will bring your high temperatures down a couple degrees as well, back into the lower 90s. We might even see a few upper 80s as we round out the month of July, getting ready there for August at this end of next week, start of the weekend there. So yeah, we'll take the more seasonal temperatures. I know another round of heat and humidity coming up here, but you know, can't necessarily complain about the upper 80s when we're talking about early August.
No kidding. All right, thank you very much, Dominic. Happening tonight, a free summer music series bringing live entertainment to Lincoln's Union Plaza. Should be a beautiful night for that. Hub and Soul returning from 6 to 9 with performances from Orion Walsh and the Ramblin' Hearts and Mike Semrod and the Riverhawks. The event is open to all ages and features local food options, giving people a chance to enjoy music while supporting local. Keep in mind, the city is closing down 21st Street from P to Q streets for this event. That starts at 3:30 this afternoon. Caught on camera, a wild ride for some drivers to a bear making himself at home inside a business. Here's Rod Fowler.
We begin with a dramatic crash in Texas, leaving an 18-wheeler dangling over the edge of a freeway overpass. 2 people had minor injuries. No word yet on why the driver lost control. Crews worked most of the day to clear the scene before reopening all lanes of the highway. Take a look at this video from Boston. A rollover crash in a tunnel brought traffic to a stop this morning. It appears a blue sedan crossed into an adjacent travel lane and hit a white SUV. The impact caused the sedan to turn onto its side before it came to rest on its roof. No one was seriously hurt. And finally, this bear walking through the main door of a water district office in Southern California. It's where people can pay their bills. Well, he wandered around the lobby for a couple of minutes. 2 workers were there when it happened and couldn't believe what they were seeing. Before they knew it, the bear was walking back out through their lobby door, back out to the wilderness. Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Rod Fowler.
When we come back after the break, the new twist in the investigations after stabbings in New York City. What authorities are revealing about the possible motive. Next. Stabbings in New York City. NYC Mayor Zohran Mamdani calling it hateful and despicable attacks. Two men stabbed minutes apart, both attacks near Central Park. One man is in custody and police are still trying to figure out why it happened. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
This morning, two men are recovering after police say they were stabbed in separate attacks in New York City, now being investigated as possible hate crimes. This is one of the victims, a Jewish man lying outside a church and synagogue after getting stabbed on the Upper West Side.
And the next thing I see is a screwdriver in his chest. I walked right next to the attacker. Basically, he was just a few feet away from me. He didn't seem crazy. You know, sometimes you see people, they're screaming, they're acting weird. He was not.
Not long before that attack, another man of Asian descent was stabbed in the back near Central Park.
All I know is I was just praying that he was going to get to the emergency room.
The suspect ran off after the attacks, but police were able to catch him after he barricaded himself in an apartment building, not answering questions when police let him out in handcuffs.
What happened? What happened? Why you did it?
Police say witnesses reported hearing the suspect shout Allahu Akbar, Arabic for God is greatest. The NYPD says it's investigating whether the stabbings were hate crimes. But police said the suspect's mental health also appears to have been a factor. The suspect, a 51-year-old man, is in custody awaiting charges. He has 2 prior drug arrests from 1991 and others that are sealed. Both victims are expected to survive. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, a rare, scary moment caught on camera. How this plane ended up in flames in the sea by Washington State and how people on board are doing this morning.
The tip in the jar. The overtime check. The Social
It's called cognitive offloading, the idea that the more people rely on technology to think for us, the less we exercise our own mental muscles. Adam Green with Georgetown University says the rise of AI isn't the first time humans have dealt with this. It goes back to the internet era in general.
We can look to the history of how humans adopt new technologies. When there's something that comes out that makes it so we don't have to think as much, in general, we don't think as much. And I think GPS is a good example of that.
Now, scientists say AI may be doing something similar to critical thinking. A 2025 study in the journal Societies surveyed and interviewed 666 people and found frequent AI use correlates with weaker critical thinking abilities, especially in younger users who also showed higher dependence.
Neuroscience evidence has shown for many, many years that the most vulnerable brains are the young brains because your brain is still forming.
So what's the middle ground? Green says you don't have to completely ditch AI tools, but it is important to use your brain to operate in the creative space and maybe just let AI do some of the grunt work.
It's a slippery slope, and you have to be careful because Claude is right there ready to come up with ideas, and nobody loves the agony of the blank page. And so, AI is ready to save you. We need to recognize the value of that agony for developing our creativity and retaining our creative ability.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro.
Well, it's only fitting that as we prepare for yet another stretch of hot and humid temperatures, we have a kind of a cool, gloomy rest of your Friday afternoon. You got to enjoy these cooler temperatures while they're around because this weekend it is certainly going to heat up. In fact, we're talking temperatures back into the 90s after what has been a fairly cool week outside of Monday there and cooling down as we head into the middle of the week. So, got off to kind of a hot start there, but have cooled down throughout the week and then back to it as we head into the weekend with highs returning to the 90s and your heat indices then also going to be a problem. In fact, we have feels like temperatures anywhere from 100 to 105, even closer to maybe 110 degrees out here in eastern Nebraska. And because of that, we have a heat advisory that will go in place at noon on Saturday and continue then into your Monday and into Monday evening and finally expiring there at 10 o'clock Central Time. And as you can see, there's another color here on your screen. That's that darker red color. That is your extreme heat watch, and that likely then going to become some form of extreme heat warning. And in these areas, we could see those heat indices or that feels like temperature closer to 115 degrees. So make sure we're drinking plenty of water now, giving yourself lots of breaks from the heat if we are going to spend a lot of time outside, and know the signs of heat illness for both yourself and those you might be spending any outdoor plans with this weekend. In terms of rainfall this morning, we saw a few sprinkles in the capital city. Did not amount to much on the rain gauge, just a couple hundredths of an inch at the Lincoln Airport. A very similar story in our back parking lot. But as you head down towards the south, Hebron there at about a half an inch, and areas south of the Kansas-Nebraska border, anywhere between 1 to 2 inches here estimated by radar. So, I mean, it was, fairly light for the moment. And if we're seeing any mist out there still with some of this lower level cloud cover, not likely going to amount to much on the gauge either. But as we take a quick look here at your ABC Seamless camera at North 48th and Cornhusker Highway, still look a little bit wet there on those roads if you are heading out to lunch. Temperatures right now in eastern Nebraska in the upper 60s to low 70s, but a few 80s out there once you get into western portions of the state as well as the Panhandle. And a closer look here in southeast Nebraska, 70 right now in Lincoln, 74 in Beatrice, 73 in Hebron, and the lower 70s as well for the Tri-Cities and the dew points. It's part of the reason why we've seen some of that lower level cloud cover and fog is they're sitting in the upper 60s to low 70s. That southerly wind continuing to bring in some more moisture. That's setting us up for those hotter and humid conditions then as we head into this weekend. But other than that, mostly cloudy skies here for eastern portions of the state. Starting to see that cloud cover dissipate just a little bit out towards the west. Stormcast does think that continues then as we head into your Friday evening. And then we could see the development then of some more fog for the start of your day on Saturday. But a very similar story here once we get into the afternoon. We expect that to dissipate just a a little bit, with then partly cloudy skies to follow for the rest of the day Saturday and into early Sunday morning. Temperatures this afternoon will be cooler here in eastern Nebraska, the low to mid 80s for those high temperatures, but it gets warmer as you get out towards the west. Kind of a sneak peek on what we can expect the next couple of days. In fact, then for your Saturday forecast, start to see a lot more 100-degree marks there out towards the west, the mid to upper 90s then for us in eastern Nebraska, and we only get warmer as we head then into your Sunday forecast too, with the upper 90s in far southeastern Nebraska and a few more of those triple digits trying to make their way to our area. And as we head into the start of next week too, Monday looks plenty hot. Once again, highs there in the upper 90s, and then we start to see a couple chances for showers and storms hit the forecast by the middle of next week. That does help us cool down a little bit, not much, but I mean the mid 90s I suppose are better than the upper 90s. We might even see the upper 80s as we head towards the end of next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Dominic. Americans are swapping steak dinners for egg breakfasts, and Meta drops out of a major clean energy pact. Here's Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
Over the past year, Meta has funded the construction of at least a dozen natural gas power plants, including one project that alone will burn enough natural gas to generate as much electricity as the entire state of South Dakota. Now, TechCrunch reports Meta is no longer part of the RE100, a corporate renewable energy initiative. After a decade of membership, the exit caps months of Meta expanding its bet on fossil fuels to power its AI data centers. Well, the USDA is moving forward with plans to move thousands of employees to other cities. The USDA is moving some 2,600 employees in Washington, D.C. to 5 regional hubs in Raleigh, North Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Indianapolis, Fort Collins, Colorado, and Salt Lake City. The aim is to bring the USDA closer to customers and reduce bureaucracy. Most of the employees don't want to leave Washington, D.C., according to Successful Farming. And breakfast getting a new life among cash-strapped Americans. Research firm IBISWorld found revenue at breakfast restaurants and diners has grown from $13.8 billion in 2019 to about $15.6 billion in 2025. Gen Z and millennials are drawn to breakfast for affordability and socializing. Innovative drinks are also attracting younger, affluent customers to breakfast menus. And Mary Dell Chilton, the mother of genetically modified crops, died at age 87. She led the research team at the University of Washington that produced the first transgenic plant, but had little interest in becoming a spokesperson for GMOs. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
When we come back, demanding accountability, what crowds in Wisconsin are asking for after an officer pulled the trigger, killing one person.
It's the little things that make home feel like home. A warm meal on the table, a tidy space, and someone who truly listens with patience and care. It's Synergy Home Care of Lincoln. We bring comfort, connection, and peace of mind to families across our community right at your doorstep. Because when your loved ones feel cared for, you can breathe easier too. Synergy Home Care of Lincoln, for life's little moments, as well as the big ones.
Every home has its moments, the quiet ones, the busy ones, and the ones that remind you how important it is to have people you can count on. At Deals Plumbing, honesty comes first. We're not here to sell you something. We're here to fix the problem, explain what's going on, and give you upfront pricing with free estimates and no hidden fees. As a locally owned company, we know our customers. And with same-day or next-day service, we're here when you need us.
Deals Plumbing, here for your home, here for our community.
Berry Law, founded and operated by American veterans and patriots.
Trying to get attention online? Scroll, 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 or boom, put your business on Channel 8 KLKN. Real viewers, real impact, real fast. Advertise with Channel 8 and watch the buzz begin. Scan the QR code to get started.
From a small kitchen in Naples to a table in Lincoln, some recipes are too good to leave behind. For 48 years, the Knudsen family has shared authentic Italian flavors made the same way they always have. Rich sauces, handcrafted pasta, pizzas loaded with everything you crave. Built on family, tradition, and a love for this community, Da Vinci's is more than a meal. It is a legacy you can taste. Gather your table, taste the tradition. Da Vinci's, from Naples to Nebraska.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
You got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
New at midday, tension in Wisconsin's capital city after the fatal police shooting of a man. Protesters in Madison are calling for accountability and justice. State and local officials say the matter will be fully investigated. A warning to viewers, this story contains material that some viewers may find disturbing due to the graphic nature. John Lawrence reports.
A vigil Thursday in Madison, Wisconsin, one day after Corey Ruiz was shot and killed by police in broad daylight at the intersection of Williamson and South Baldwin Streets. Police say Ruiz injured one of the 4 responding officers with a knife during a struggle.
I'm still traumatized. It happened right here in my neighborhood. That's terrible.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice's Division of Criminal Investigation is reviewing the incident, which is classified as an active homicide inquiry.
Once all of the facts and information have been gathered, DCI will then present it to the district attorney's office for that review and decision.
While protesters are making their voices heard,
quit your job! Quit your job!
Officials, including Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, are calling for transparency.
It does not matter who you are or what your past is. You should not lose your life as a result of an encounter with law enforcement.
All 4 officers involved in the shooting are on administrative leave pending the probe into the matter.
The more force we use, the less trust we have. That is the tension that we are living through right now in this city, and I can physically feel it.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Well, coming up after the break, we're taking you to the comic convention, bringing superfans from around the world to the U.S. Find out how your favorite figures are being portrayed.
Bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
Bring the outdoors in with a custom sunroom. More light, more space, and year-round comfort. Perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Designed for your home and built for every season. Call ABC Seamless of Nebraska today and let the sun shine.
Dear Soccer, with Toyota's all-star lineup, everyone's game. From goalies to forwards and all their fans. Jump in, kick back, and let's go. Toyota. Lease the 2026 Camry for just $299 a month or get APR financing as low as 3.99% on Camry. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Craving a mouth-watering sub sandwich? Look no further than Sid's Deli and Subs. Serving fresh, made-to-order subs with your choice of sliced meats and cheeses on our soft, fresh-baked bread. Come and taste the Sid's Deli difference. Sid's Deli and Subs, 33rd and Cornhusker, Lincoln.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday with Supreme Spa and Pool. Save up to $7,100 on above-ground pools, or get 40% off select packages, or take up to $5,000 off a premium spa.
Supreme Spa and Pool.
This is what summer was made for. 10 unforgettable days where roaring engines meet carnival lights, where exotic animals, barnyard favorites, and 4-H traditions come together. Plus live music all 10 nights. July 30th through August 8th. The Lancaster County Super Fair at Sandhills Global Event Center. Plan your day with our interactive map and schedule at superfair.org. Save with a BOGO admission coupon or $5 off grandstand tickets at Super Saver, Russ's Market, or U-Stop. The Lancaster County Super Fair, where good times grow.
Comic-Con 2026 is underway and it's trending now. That means tens of thousands of fans are spending the next few days at the San Diego Convention Center. Here's ABC's George Pinocchio checking out this year's big pop culture events.
The Man in the Mirror Ball actually calls himself Disco Tech, just one of the many cosplayers here enjoying Comic-Con.
My oldest son is really into comics, and I haven't done a lot of things with him, and this was an opportunity to do something that he enjoyed.
I felt like we need to smile more in this world, so Comic-Con is the place for that.
I am a pre-law person, and I noticed that there was a panel for lawyers who love comic books here, which is just amazing that such a niche community, you know, of future lawyers and comic book fans can come together and make meaningful connections here.
Day one of the convention included the Disney Plus series Percy Jackson and the Olympians taking over the main stage, Hall H, to celebrate the show's upcoming third season.
Some people waited, slept in line for 20 hours.
Yeah.
And that's
who were
The other big presentation of the day, the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, opening in Los Angeles in September.
There's 1,300 artworks in the exhibition, so there's plenty to see for everybody.
The artist known as Shag showed off his new painting, Jabba's Palace, based on George Lucas's Return of the Jedi. Price tag, $65,000.
So it's a one-off, and it's an original painting, and it's my vision of what I wanted to see.
I wanted to see Gumby and Pokey. And then there's Mr. Floats, here promoting something scary, just not to him.
We're doing a new book. It's called The Carnival of Souls. And it's a children's book, make the little ones feel good when they go to sleep at night.
Seems like that would go well with the ice cream being given out here to celebrate the upcoming 13th season of American Horror Story. In San Diego, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Well, before we go to break, kind of a gloomy start to your Friday. Let's get a final check of the forecast coming up next. Stay with us.
For the quality furniture you're looking for, make the drive to Beatrice and visit Sheer Quality Furniture. Offering free delivery to Lincoln. High quality furniture at a great price. Sheer Furniture in Beatrice.
We knew the Knowles was the right decision right away by how quickly she adjusted and how well she adjusted. She became part of the community. I think for us, immediately, it was an upbeat, positive energy here. The residents are always friendly. The staff is accessible and responsive.
She needed to be in a very good, safe environment. Yeah. And we felt that the Knowles did fit our needs for that too.
Very well cared for.
Governor Pillen promised to lower Nebraskans' property taxes, which are some of the highest in the country. Pillen didn't lower our property taxes. Instead, he proposed to raise the state sales tax and gave tax cuts to the wealthiest Nebraskans. That's Governor Pillen's tax policy. High property taxes, higher sales tax, tax cuts for the wealthy. Contact Governor Pillen's property tax hotline and tell him to take executive action to lower taxes. Paid for by your Nebraska.
Miracle Mile Motors redefines the used car experience. Unmatched service, exceptional detail. Each vehicle is carefully selected